Hey guys, Jason Schnitzer here with Remax Tiffany Real Estate, and what I've got for you is the Cypress Market Minute for week 3 of this 2023 market. As always, statistically, we've only got 24 homes for sale, 5 new ones just came on the market, and 7 new pending sales. Interest rates haven't really changed. We're hovering around that 6% range, low 6% range. But the biggest thing that I want you guys to be aware of and looking out for is next week, the Fed is going to be meeting and talking about, again, strategies going into 2023 with regards to how aggressive they are going to be to fight inflation. So that's a big meeting that I'm really looking forward to hearing, because it's really right now, the Fed's in a tough spot. I truly believe that we're stuck, call it, between a rock and a hard place. You know, I just got off the phone with an economist yesterday that consults a lot with some big investor, pension investment, and along with builders. One of their biggest clients is the Olson Company. So some big swingers in California, just to get a feel for what his idea is in coming into 2023 from a holistic picture with regards to, you know, the stock market, job market, everything, not just the real estate market. And his glasses weren't so rosy tinged, so he tried to keep his bias out of it as much as he could. But he thinks that towards the middle end of this year, we're going to start to see more potential recession talks, which we kind of have seen with regards to job layoffs for the big tech companies, especially in the last couple of months. And, you know, quite honestly, going back to the Fed meeting with regards to raising interest rates, that's what the Fed is trying to do. They're raising interest rates because they think the job market is too tight. They think the unemployment is too low, and that's really the driving factor for inflation. Not sure I completely agree with that, just because the fact that we printed so much money in the last 3 years. So I know that the tight job market does play a factor into it, along with how much money we printed. But what they're trying to do and accomplish with raising interest rates to, of course, help quell inflation is to have unemployment rise. And the trick is to do that in a way where the market doesn't pull back so much that we have a recession, which obviously nobody wants. What I've noticed with regards to realtors talking about our market and their projected forecasts is, you know, there's a general sense that everybody agrees that we're going to have some sort of correction in the stock market, in the market in general, because we can't just keep on going up and up and up, and has to. And it already has corrected a little bit with regards to the real estate market, especially because of interest rates. But again, getting back to what everybody's talking about is they think, of course, yeah, okay, we'll see that recession, but hey, you know what happens in a recession? Fed pulls back, lowers interest rates, and, you know, the housing market picks back up again. The one caveat I'll say about that in our market, and what I want people to just be aware of, is in previous markets when the Fed has manipulated rates in that way, we haven't had this big, ugly monster called inflation, you know, knocking at our door like it is right now. So if Fed were to pull back on what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish to lower interest rates, well, then we just add fuel to the inflation fire that is somewhat burning out of control. Albeit they are talking about the idea of that we're potentially seeing it change the other direction. But of course, those sorts of things take time to really digest and to get a good feel for, you know, month after month data to really see where that trend is going, much like I do on these videos with regards to the real estate market. So again, all that being said, if they did pull back, what we would see is potential hyperinflation. So it's kind of like going back to the rock and hard place. It's like, are we going to face the hard truth of dealing with inflation and having, you know, eggs be $9 a dozen? What if they jumped up to $15 a dozen because we had crazy inflation? Well, the other side of that coin is like, we keep raising rates, inflation settles back down. We don't have $9 a dozen eggs, and our energy bills aren't crazy because we've kind of calmed that down. But on the other hand, we have recession and, you know, people losing jobs, mass layoffs, companies not being able to produce enough to provide jobs for people. So you can see the balancing act that's going on right now. And of course, why I do these videos is I like to give a week by week update on what's going on. Of course, in the housing market, a lot of these economists look to us realtors that are really in the beat, getting a good feel for, the everyday buyer and seller. What are they going through? What are the emotions that they're dealing with? Because as much as real estate is a financial investment, it's very much an emotional investment on both ends. So yeah, where does all this lead us? Well, it's now more than ever important to make sure that you have the most and best up-to-date information when you're going to go make a decision on your most expensive asset. So if you are curious about how the 2023 market is going to stack up with your real estate portfolio, offer free real estate consulting. So we'll sit down with you, we'll go over what you and your family are trying to accomplish, and we'll try to make that as clear as possible as what your options look like so you can make the best decisions on your most expensive assets. So hopefully you guys find these videos helpful. I love doing these videos because it gives you up-to-date information, what's happening right now, versus having to wait 3 or 4 months and seeing the articles in the the LA Times about what's going on, or the Register. Because quite honestly, the stuff that you're reading in the newspaper and online, that's old news. That's stuff that we've been talking about on here for the last 3 to 4 months. And maybe you're starting to notice that now. If you've been following my videos, you're just now starting to see news about, hey, the real estate market might be slowing down. So yeah, hopefully you find this beneficial. And again, see you guys next week. Hey guys, thanks again for watching this week's episode of O.C Realtor Talk. If you gained any value from this video, we'd really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and followed us on all our social media platforms.
What Jason, I believe is really, really important for you, whether you're buying a house or selling a house, is understanding the process and knowing exactly what you're getting into. So if you ever have any questions, just follow the links below and we'll get you those answers.